All right, so I got a evap change out. I made a video that I used the Invoicing leak detector to locate the leak. Found a leak in the coil, but that's what we're gonna be changing out today. So I took it out the case in my garage last night because this coil, man, weighed about 95 pounds. I think the net weight was like 85 pounds. So it'll be a lot easier for me to, since I'm by myself anyway, it'll be a lot easier. Put the case in there, and then I'm just gonna slide the coil right on in there. And we're supposed to have a lot of bad weather today. A bunch of showers, so I think they're gonna hit this way around noon. It's about 9 o'clock now. So I'm gonna try to finish up by then, call it a day. Well, that's a 5-ton. I'm gonna go ahead and pump this down. Go ahead and pump this refrigerant down and get started. We got our filter dry on the outside. All right, so somebody asked me to show them how to pump a system down or put out a refrigerant inside this condenser unit. So I'm gonna show you how I pump the system down. And there's a ton of mosquitoes back here, so bear with me. So these are my pressures right here. The reason they not equalized, I think the unit not too long ago shut off. That's why the suction line is kind of sweaty, and it's not equalized because it has a TXV. It's a 5-ton unit, so we got a TXV on it. Open both of my caps. Call these king valves. You gotta open both of your king valves, your suction and your liquid line king valves right here. Have to have a service wrench. So this liquid line that's on the red side, it's my liquid. We want to close this. Closing it, I'm going clockwise. I want this line completely closed. This is my discharge line or the liquid line. So that's completely closed. Can't no refrigerant go back to the evaporator. Remember, this is my suction. I want to suck everything inside the condenser unit. So same thing, suction line, suction star with the SUC. It's sucking everything up in here. So you want to kind of go ahead and start it for about 2 turns, because we're gonna go all the way down. Not all the way down, but let's go back up. Now I'm opening it back up. I just want to see how far down I gotta go. All right, so it's quite a few turns. So right now I got about 3/4 closed or down, because it's still open, my suction. Hope I ain't confused right there. So the next thing we have to do is locate our power source. Let's see what kind of power source we have. I also have a disconnect. So let's see what kind of power source we have. Okay. A lot of mosquitoes back here. So this is what I was hoping right here. Sometimes on these contactors you have a cap, and you can't push this button in. So right now I'm looking to see if I have any safety switches, like a low suction switch, which I do not have. So that's the case, if I wanted to just turn the unit on at the thermostat, I could, and the unit won't shut off. I will have to shut it off at the disconnect right here. See, the unit just kicked on itself. So I need to use that disconnect. Once this start going down, I didn't think it was gonna kick on itself. I was gonna push in that contactor, but let's see. You see it going all the way down. So when it gets about 10 psi, I'm gonna shut the unit off and start closing that line. Like I said, I still will have a, kind of got me off guard since it started calling for cool, but since we don't have a low suction, you hear that compressor screaming a little bit? All right, so I'm gonna kill it now. And then I'm gonna hurry up and close it. See, I'm gonna hurry up and close it. See, if I had a low pressure switch on here, the unit would have shut off and wouldn't let me pump it down. I think that's good. All right, that's good right there. I really didn't feel it tighten like I wanted, so I'm gonna switch keys. Sometimes you gotta have different keys. Cause if you get the wrong key, some of these valves you can't close. See on this one right here, it's a little shorter stem. Better for the suction line. So I want to make sure I got a good close on it. Which I don't think I did. That's it right there. See, now I got a good snag on. I know it's closed. It was open a little bit because I was at 13 psi. So the rest of it is gas. It's just 13 psi, not much at all. So you can either get a recovery machine and recover that a little bit, or like I said, it ain't much. You can just open up the gauge and just let it go. Cause like I said, not much at all. That's allowable. You see I'm already down to 0. Pretty much 1 psi 0. That's fast. So now I don't have any gas. Everything is trapped up inside this condenser unit right here. I can cut my line and I'm good. It just be pretty much air. But that's how you do a pump down. All right, so this is the coil that's coming out of here. As you can see, this is already coming loose a little bit. I think my coil is a lot longer. All right, I'm gonna get started. So I do one step at a time. Cut my copper line. Next I cut my PVC line for my drain line. And to make this lighter, I should be able to just lift this coil up. Maybe a couple screws they gotta fasten. Like this pipe is bent, so hope if I can get it. There we go. So we got that. I want to just kind of get this out the way. see it's a screw right here holding this one down. Now we got that one. Probably two more on the other side. No, they've been taken out. So I'm essentially doing the same thing that I did with the coil in my truck. Make my load a little lighter. It's a heavy coil too. Man. That coil is not light. That's all copper. That's some good scrap though. So this coil here is a little smaller, seems like the one that I'm putting in. Mine about that long. Mine much longer, but they weigh about the same, I tell you that. Drain pan. See, the rest of the stuff just fold out. But go get my vacuum and suck up all that water. All right, so they got about 3 screws. I don't know how they screw in from the bottom. Might have didn't have that emergency pin down there at the time. We're gonna cut them out. Tough to get to that one. Sometimes you got the right tools. Save you a little heartache. All right, let me get this out. All right, so it's a good time to check this heat exchanger. I just want to feel. Sure we ain't got no cracks. Everything look good. Alright, so I got it over in there like I want it. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pouring down raining out there. So I'm gonna button it up before I go get my torches, okay? So I won't get too wet. Yep, the rain got me. But it ain't gonna be no rain out. We're still gonna knock it out. All right, so I'm getting ready to put my TXV in and sweat my suction line in. And I gotta sweat this in here. All right, let it rain. That's a wrap. It's all heating. I made a good little weld on there. I was heating this big pipe also for that solder to flow back toward that way. But I shouldn't have no leaks right there. Alright, now I'm see what I need to do the TXV. Alright, so the thing is, I don't see no equalizer line on here. Hey, it's Walter. Alright, so I'm just looking at what I got here, and the TXV in the box that came with this little equalizer line right here to add to my suction. I would have seen that before I put all this solder on there. I could redo it, insert this for my equalizer line, but I'm just gonna cut a hole in here or drill a hole. Just cut this off. That's what we used to do in commercial anyway, so and we'll just stick it in there. I kind of cut it at an angle, and that should do. Alright, so I'm not going to over tighten it right now. I guess I can go ahead and tighten that one up. Alright, that's good and tight there. Alright, so on this one, I just need to put that right here. I got my liquid line here. Should be just sit that right in there like that. So I'm gonna barely put that on there, and that'll hold it for me. And it's a 3/8 line, so it's not gonna get very hot. So I'm not gonna worry about wrapping that. It's gonna get hot, but not too long. Should be able to do. Alright, so this right here, like I say, I'm just gonna drill a little hole up in here. All right, I know it's kind of hard to see, but I can see I got a clear hole right here, so I'm fine with that. Milwaukee, man, I love your lights, but you gotta come with a better head scrap than this. I bought 2 of these lights. The head scrap is not good. So what I want to do now, I'm just gonna drill me a little hole in the bottom. And shouldn't get any shavings in there. let's try to go at the bottom right here. That's good. No shaving. Alright. Alright, so all I'm gonna do is just stick that in there right there. That's our equalizer line right there. Sometimes you gotta ad lib when you're out here in this field. Everything not gonna go smooth. But as long as you got the right tools, you can make it happen. Alright. That's a wrap, see? That's a good equalizer line now. Alright, so all I'm gonna do is put a washer in this one. See, it's not hot at all. Put a washer in there. Tighten it up. So I'm gonna leak search my welds. I don't have but what, 1, 2, 3 welds. And leak search that TXV. All right, so as I get a little break in the rain, I have about 241 PSI of nitrogen in here. Got 241. It's been holding for about 7 minutes now. At 241, and I also checked out my wells with soap bubbles on the inside and out. Everything looked good, so I'm gonna try to find a power supply, and I'm going to pull a vacuum. While I pull a vacuum, I'll be taping up my coil, and then once I finish taping up the coil, should be ready to go. We release the charge and charge it up. Alright, so when I release my charge, for some reason I always like to start with my liquid line first. So right now I am releasing the charge. Pretty much finished with the inside. So now I do my suction. going counterclockwise to open. Counterclockwise. Very careful not to strip these out. Should be calling for cool. My pressures right now 223. Alright, so I'm going to do a little housekeeping. I'm going to let this run for about 10 minutes and I'll come back and check on it, see if we need to add something to it. Alright folks, that's a route right there. Been running about 10 minutes now. It's blowing snowballs. So we're going to call this one good. I'm going to let it run for a while. I put a trap on there. So I added a trap. The only thing I'm concerned with, which I might do, is I don't like how it's going over that gas pipe right there. So I might cut and put a coupling and go underneath there. Or have more of a downhill slope. But starting to thunder out there and lightning, so I'm get ready to tighten up here, get my old coil down. It's a heavy thing. But I think we had a leak back here somewhere. See, it's rusted out. Alright, homeowner, so you want to know why the coils leak? I would say this one here is due to normal wear and tear. You see all the rust and the corrosion. And when your fan motor and stuff kick on, this stuff vibrates. And sometimes it may be able to knock a joint loose. A lot of times when it leaks between this metal and this U-bend, we can get to it, but it's really worth trying to, because you got to remove this. But remember, this inside of the coil used to be inside of this unit, so you still got to pull this coil and try to make a attempt to repair. It's a lot of work. Like on commercial units though, if you got a big 50-ton coil or something like that, it may be worth, you know, trying to get in there and try to cut all this stuff out. See how brittle it is? Sometimes it's worth, you know, trying to cut it out and see if we can get to it. But these coils right here, usually under $1,000. I mean, you might as well just replace it and get you a new one.
And sometimes when they touching like this, it could be leaking right here. I bet it's leaking right there. Where they touching that right there, just over time, like I say, when the unit blower motor turns on and it vibrates or whatever, 10 years of that will rub a hole in that copper. All right, I tell you, man, that coil there make a man out you. I want to weigh it. That's a heavy coil there. See how much it weighs. That sucker ain't no joke. That should buy me lunch today. One day. Alright, let's see here. See how many pounds this thing weigh. That sucker at least 80 pounds. Oh, fool me. That sucker feel heavy. 60 pounds though. 60 pound dead weight coming out that attic. Go check on the unit. That thing already cooling the house down fast. About the reset point. Been running probably about 15 minutes now. I don't think I'm gonna have to add any refrigerant. Let's see what we got. So I got 40 degrees saturation temperature, about 6 degrees subcooling. I say it may take a little more, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I may be a couple ounces short, but at 6 degrees subcooling. Rule of thumb, we want about 10, but plus or minus 3. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this because it feel good out here today. It's probably about 72 degrees, 75. So it's not that warm in the house. Yeah, I think she's good to go. All right, I'm finna get up out of here. Go eat some lunch.